Hey guys, how are we all doing? So Dan from Trading with Dan here. This is our Bitcoin evening wrap. So if you guys wouldn't mind smashing that like button, we will go straight over to those charts. S&P first, seeing as seeing if it just happens to be on my screen. So yeah, you can see S&P is looking in a little bit of trouble here. In a little bit of trouble. We broke that trend line. We came back and back tested it. Couldn't even get back up to this horizontal. And well, found our way back at not only the trend line, which is basically the original horizontal we wicked down to. But yeah, basically found ourselves at that horizontal. I mean, we bounced off it a bit, obviously intraday today, but it doesn't look too healthy, guys. This asset needed to break above here, or at least hold this low here, when we came down and started to move back up again. So yeah, that is not a good sign, guys. That is not a good sign. So no doubt the market manipulators and the plunge protection team will be eyeballing the precarious nature of the position that this asset's currently in. Yeah. What are they gonna do? If you have a look at it on the daily, yeah, you can see how bad this is looking, really. This is it. This is literally do or die, basically. It's gonna have to take it's gonna have to, well, start moving back up. If not, realistically, the next levels potentially. Yeah, potentially there. We'll move this. These were based off that, as you can see, it's based off that 9 there. But yeah, we'll move it along here because this is a level of interest here. So yeah, that's another level price could get caught. But I mean, realistically, if we come down much lower, it is going to be looking pretty bad. It is going to be looking pretty bad for a move, probably back to that. Probably back to the 786. In all fairness. And I mean, yeah, I mean, realistically, we're changing a longer term trend there. So like I said, they've got to sort this. And I did mention, I think in this morning or last night's video, that I am expecting something. I can sort of feel it in the movements of the markets, whatever that means. But yeah, they're gonna have to come up with something soon. Because I think the American people are cottoning on to the fact that Wall Street is basically getting given everything it wants straight away and more, and the American people are basically just getting just used as bargaining chips for party political gains. So they are probably set to just realize that fact, and then they know they're going to be in trouble. Yeah. So let's have a look at the Nasdaq as well. Yeah, as you can see, Nasdaq similarly, this actually dipped below an important level, and has now has closed just above it. But again, very precarious. Very precarious. Not a good scenario here. We have now got the 21 daily sloping down. So I mean, realistically, your target is a 200 daily, which I mean would probably come in around the 9,700 by the time we get down there. So that's a pretty big dump for the Nasdaq. Let's have a look at it just percentage wise, just so we can get a view. Yeah, that's about it's about yeah, about 11% dump. So yeah, again, got to turn around. I mean, the Nasdaq, I've got less confidence in the Nasdaq turning around. It's just purely on the basis it's more extended. Obviously, as the Nasdaq comes down, there's the rotation into certain S&P stocks. So there's a bit of a a spread trade there between the two. Dollar index just about holding that 92 handle, but also just about holding under that trend line. So I mean, really, I keep saying this is what I'm expecting, us to get squeezed down here and then dump Do I think the dollar's going to turn around here and go up? Of course I don't. Of course I don't. And that is not the bet to be played. That is just what people say that are trying to sound smart, and just hope that you'll forget when it doesn't happen. And yeah, I mean, like I said, it could happen, and I will sound stupid, but I'm not trying to sound smart. I'm just basically trying to say this is the trend is down, and we've got a trend line. There's nothing that I'm trying to be particularly smart about with that, and I am saying if you break this trend line and hold above it and start to make progress above these levels, then yeah, it's going to be looking like a potential reversal. But that isn't me trying to be smart. Someone saying that this is that they think this is going to go up now. That is just someone. Trying to be smart, making it. It's like a free trade. They'll basically say it. It's like a throwaway comment, and then if they're right, they'll come back and say, "Ah, look, I told you." And if they're not, they'll just basically forget they ever said it. BTC.D. I mean, yeah, BTC dominance. Well, it's there or thereabouts. Looking like it can come down and test lower, to be honest. I mean, will it get down to here? Will it get down to here? Or will it get down to actually this 57 area? It will remain to be seen. I don't actually realistically have a fundamental view on this at all. All I really have is just a trend view, and the trend is down. Let's have a look. Well, I'm a bit conscious of the fact we've not even looked at Bitcoin yet. Let's have a look at silver, just under $27 here. Still in a tightening formation there, and gold in a tightening formation. So we're expecting moves in these markets, guys. We are expecting moves. And I mean, looking at stock markets, those moves are looking like they're more likely to come to the downside, chart wise. But yeah, I mean, as we know, we've got external influences on these markets that could step in once things start to look bad. So right, over to Bitcoin, over to the Bitcoin. I was going to try and think of something funny to say there to call it, but yeah, no. But anyway, so yeah, you can see 4 hour, we got to this resistance, pulled back, rejected, rejected and pulled back. Got to the resistance again, rejected and pulled back, but as you'll note, this is a higher low. So are we sort of, forming an ascending triangle? Is this what we're forming? And we are going to bust up? Or are we just gonna lose this trend line? Or it's not a trend line really, it's just it's not a trend line, put it that way, because this is not really confirmed as a point to have a trend line, and plus I don't really know why I've lined this up to either. Maybe this looks better, maybe that this is what we will go with. I mean, yeah, are we getting squeezed in here to basically bust us above 11k? I mean, realistically, we're at a level that'll tell us now. I mean, if we break below 11,800, then yeah, I mean, we're going to have to see if 10,600 does hold us, which I suspect it could, because you guys know I think this level is important, and obviously we can't come down at it this hard because we're only this far away from it. So it wouldn't be bad for us to come down to 10,800, get picked up, and have another go at breaking through 11k. That wouldn't look bad at all. So yeah, that could happen. I mean, realistically, this is what I think is happening. We can't run into a daily wait for it guys, a daily MRI 9, which is this candle here, if the TD sequential does or doesn't want to load up. Yeah, we can't realistically run into one without some sort of a reaction. So 1 to 4 candle correction. This is our first candle. We could have up to 4. So I mean, realistically, in much the same way, if we go to a bi-weekly, I was basically saying that this bi-weekly 9 candle can basically just keep us like within this range here. Obviously with this being the level here, we need to not break, which is where it is at the moment. This daily 9 can pretty much keep us within this range here, until eventually we decide we want to then break above it. So yeah, I mean, for me, this is all that's happened. We've run into a daily 9 at resistance. So we are just acting in an orderly fashion. So yeah, That's what I'm looking at there. 12 hour, is there anything of note on the 12 hour? Yeah, I did know this was coming up actually. That's why I brought it up. Yeah, because I noticed we were on a 12 hour 8 before. But yeah, we got a 12 hour 9 as well. And we have traded below that 12 hour 9. But as you can see, we've got back up to the close of that 12 hour 9. So, yeah, I mean, this is just more indication of sideways to down. So I mean, realistically, this weekend, do I expect us to break up? Not necessarily. If anything, I'd expect us just to basically play out this range, maybe test 10,600, then probably come back to the top of the range, and yeah, wait until we played out enough of a correction from these daily and 12-hour 9s. 4-hour 9, did anything line up on the 4-hour? I don't think it did. No, it didn't. No, so nothing really lined up on the 4-hour here. So. I mean, yeah, what realistically I'm sort of expecting here, pattern-wise, is that, yeah, we just come back up, we potentially test 11k, and then, I mean, because it's the weekend, do I expect it to break above 11k and go off to the races? Not really over the next 2 days, so that would suggest then, okay, we're going to break out the bottom of here and just test 10.6 area, and then just stay in this range. That's kind of what I am suspecting the price action will be. But yeah, I mean, can we break up over the weekend? Yeah, of course we can. Of course we can. No problems there. We can obviously do that if you want to. But yeah, I'm basing everything. I mean, you'll notice a lot of my analysis is based off these 9s. It's based off this bi-weekly 9 on the larger time frame here, which is clearly doing its thing. This daily 9 at resistance, which is clearly doing its thing. And this 12-hour 9 at the same resistance is clearly doing its thing at the moment as well. So let's have a look at stochastics, see how those guys are getting on. 4-hour turn back down again, briefly tried to turn back up, but it's still making more progress down. But as you can see, price action is still holding there or thereabouts, guys, isn't it? It's what, within about $100 of basically this resistance. So 4-hour coming down, which price action is staying around there or thereabouts, is not the worst thing that we could see. It's not the worst thing. 10-hour turning down back into the purple zone, and once the 12-hour gets down to about here, that's when we know we're going to be in trouble. So so we have been put on notice. Bitcoin price action is going to stay where it is, and then push above 11k to keep this up before this gets down to about here. Otherwise, we are likely coming for another test to the downside, basically. But a test down to 10,600, maybe a few wicks, wicks a bit low, is not the worst thing in the world at all. But I mean, we'd rather break into this zone and then come and back test this level and hold there, wouldn't we? Clearly, we'd all much prefer that. We would all much prefer that. Daily Stoke's still looking good though. Tired. Daily Stoke's moving up nicely. They're looking good. 2-day still turning up, so that's looking good. 3-day sort of still got that curve on it. 5-day sort of still got that curve on it. So yeah, not really too much to read into those, other than they look like they're working to give us some good upwards momentum, realistically speaking. So yeah, I mean, so that is about all I've got to say today. Not too much not too much else I wanted to say. I've not really got much to rant about today. Fantasy football this weekend though. Fantasy football is important, guys. It is important. Last week I scored quite a nice 70 points. If I score 70 points every week, I basically would win the whole thing. But yeah, my overall rank is 844,000 out of 6.5 million. I'm in the top of most of my leagues, but I'm hoping to be in the first spot of all these leagues by the end of this weekend. So yeah, watch this space, guys. And I know a couple of you guys are in this group. There it is, the Trading with Dan League. We've got this is one of my friends. We've got these guys. Well done, guys. Let's see if any of you can beat me. And I'll be very surprised if you do, because I take this quite seriously. So be warned, guys. In fact, talking about how seriously I take this, this is the other window that we've got up here. FPL statistics for fantasy managers. Oh dear, guys. Oh dear. Anyway, so there we go. So thanks for listening, guys. Oh, if you guys want indicator access, here's the website, tradingwithdan.com. Just fill in your details there, and then if you go to the home page, you can put in your details to join the mailing list here. The mailing list will be coming soon. I'm thinking either next week or at the very latest it will be starting next Monday, and it will be packed with useful information, not necessarily just crypto info, but useful financial information. So make sure you're signed up to get that. And yeah, that is it. I'll speak to you guys in the morning. Hope you're gonna got a good weekend planned. Not that there's too much that we can do in this day and age of fantasy virus protection measures, where we just basically pretend that masks are going to stop a virus, and just pretend all sorts of crazy stuff. Basically pretend that you can't basically have parties of over 6 people, yet you can go to the pub and go shopping and go to work, and kids can go to school, and you can go on a bus, and you can do all that jazz, all that stuff you can do. You go to the gym, yeah, but you can't have more than 6 people in your house. I mean, it is insane, the rules that they are coming up with. You don't need any sort of epidemial expertise to know that they are just talking rubbish. And at the end of the day, it's politicians, isn't it? So they don't have any medical background or expertise. They are just clowns, and that are basically listening. And we spoke about them yesterday. They are the pantomime people. The politicians are the #1 pantomime people, but people think they're obviously getting told what to do by the scientists in inverted commas, but we all know the scientists are now pantomime scientists now. I mean, they are real scientists, but you're not allowed to listen to them, and they get censored from Twitter. They're not allowed to talk to you. They are basically fake news in inverted commas, and Mark Zuckerberg will fact check them. But the pseudo-scientists, the scientists in fashion, in vogue scientists, they basically the paid off scientists, but the globalist paid off scientists that just talk absolute rubbish. They are the ones that you cannot disagree with what they say. You cannot. They know all. They know everything. So anyway, there we go, guys. So remember, it's not a financial advice, not a financial advisor. Always do your own research, and I will speak to you guys in the morning.